What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Simpsons season, going over what I think they do well, what they could do differently, and just the state of the game right now. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you think of this season thus far. Guess we're going to be going Evergreen Terrace just because it is the first POI on the bus path. Pretty much regardless of where you land this season, it's very hot off spawn. But this is probably the most like third-party centric area I've ever been to. Like this and the town square, I feel like are just very, very hot. That makes the way you play early game very important. Because I think what you want to do most is kind of land and clear the immediate area around you and try to just have like a somewhat safe start to your game. If you land and you're just like immediately contested and you kind of let those people exist, and you don't end that fight quickly, I feel like a lot of times you're just going to end up being the one that's like chain third party. So you see this Marge here, like no one landed at her house luckily, and so she's a bit more like accelerated within the start of this game as a lot of people. Like a lot of the people around her are just kind of clearing their initial fight or clearing the person that landed at their house, and so that allows her to like kind of get pushed up here and get like timing. So she's like very fortunate that no one landed at her house for that to happen, but that's just kind of the way POIs like this go. But basically my point was just like you want to try to clear the area around you as fast as possible, but also like not be engaged in fights for too long, because if you're in like a really stagnant fight that's just like dragged out, especially in the early game, then the other people around you are just going to get their area safe and then eventually like third party you. This person hasn't really been fighting though, so I don't know what to make of this. Like a fight did happen here, but it hasn't been recent. It's like weird spectating, Marge. Like I couldn't even see the person she was looking at in that attic because of the hair. You can see how weak she got with that fight. If there was anybody else in this area, then like she's probably just dead. And that's just the way early game plays this season. She seems to think there's more people here. I don't know if she's just checking or if she like maybe heard or saw something on visuals. That's one of the things like spectating that's a bit rough, is that we don't get visual audio. And so a lot of times the player might have like a bit of information that we don't have. So yeah, it seems like there definitely is somebody in that house, and then there's somebody that shot them from over there. I think maybe she did get visuals over there. This is not a kill that matters though. That's an AI. You want to ignore this AI and then focus the other player. So it could be hard for some people to tell the AI sometimes, but just like immediately when I saw that Chrome Punk's movement, I knew they were a drone. And she gets this kill and she survives, but that fight almost went poorly in a way that it didn't really need to, because she has full health, she has decent positioning, and she has mobility. So if she ignored the AI and instead shot the Spider-Man that was shooting the AI, she could have taken advantage of that Spider-Man being distracted and then like pushed him with shockwaves and got that kill like super cleanly. But focusing that AI almost just cost her the game. And it's kind of hard to talk about with the AI. I feel like there's somewhat of an extent of like an uncanny valley with it, where like if you play enough, I feel like the AI just kind of like stick out like a sore thumb. But just like the way they move their characters is not how like normal players move their characters. Invested 2 shockwaves into this third party timing, and he's going to be rewarded for it. And that's just more of what I was saying about the early game, but applied even further in the game. Like once you get going, and then you can just like, you're more accelerated in the game than the people around you, and you're not like actively fighting, you can just take that like benefit you have for yourself and just transition it into more and more third party timing situations. Like this season is incredibly third party centric. And so there's 2 sides of that coin. There's like taking advantage of it like this player did here. Like I think a lot of players wouldn't want to invest 2 shockwaves into that push. But then they don't get that kill. That person stays alive. Maybe they have to fight them later and get third partied. But also on the flip side, like as soon as you do get done fighting, you need to be prepared for third parties and be prepared to reposition. The person at the barn was playing a bit recklessly. Instead of like going inside and healing, they were just standing out in the open healing, and then that allowed Marge to just get timing on them, which they probably still get timing there anyways, but just like being a little bit safer about how they're healing, or like a little more like disciplined about it, might have saved them. I think this is the boss, is it? No, it's not, because the boss has the SMG. This is a player. Okay, they're gonna get this kill probably because they got very good early damage. If I'm fighting somebody like this that has the dash fish active, I just want to like stall that fight out. Fighting someone who has the dashes active is so rough for you. I don't mind the Marge we're spectating chasing this kill that much because she already got like damage on them. But if you're going into a neutral fight with somebody who has the dashes, then probably just shockwaving away and resetting, maybe getting them to chase into you so you can AR them is something that can work well. But like having a neutral close range fight where they have dashes and you don't is very rough. And that chase ended up being very bad for them because they used pretty much all of their shockwaves and got nothing out of it, which is maybe going to cost them later on. The shockwave again here. I don't know if they know something. Just didn't feel like walking. Oh, there's more fighting going on. They're fighting the boss from the radio tower. And so the Marge has no more mobility, so getting this timing is essential for the kill. Because if this player has mobility and she doesn't, they can just choose to not fight her. They can reset whenever they want. And so if she was able to get decent timing and just fry them with the AR, that's a way for her to get mobility again. And so that's why she's being a bit more patient here. And there's a third party that pulled up, so this is like very perfect for her. She's just gonna like wait, let this fight happen. I don't think you shoot. Okay, now you that's so unfortunate that Peter Griffin was an AI and died for free, and now her position is given away. I was gonna say you don't shoot at that Peter Griffin, you just let them fight, and then hopefully a fight happens, and then you can just clean it up. Because as I said, this player with less mobility has just less options and less ways they can play the fight, and it's kind of up to the enemy whether or not the fight even happens. And so timing is like really important for her. And that's why that third party being there is rough. And then this is... Luckily, she gets damage back on them there. But, like, this was almost just a free death just because she had no mobility. I think the enemy is healthier. They're going to pistol her from this guy. Yeah, the hip fire on that pistol is so good. She bunkers, but I think this is a foregone conclusion. Yeah. That kill is just not having mobility. She like didn't have mobility and she pushed kind of late, but it's like this elite agent wasn't really pressured from her previous fight anyways because it was a drone they were fighting. They're getting third partied again. But you see this player has mobility, so they could just full leave if they want. Oh no, they're dead. And that's like Thunder versus TAC this season is such like a hot topic for a lot of people. Unfortunately, that elite agent hit their Thunder. I don't remember if their Thunder shot missed or if it hit for not like very low. But either way, they didn't get what they wanted out of that shot. And at that point, the TAC just wins the fight. Especially having a 50-50 fight like that out in the open, the entire fight is just kind of decided by whether or not the Thunder user hits a hard shot. That elite agent hit like 150 plus, then like maybe they could have won this anyways. But like it's just, as soon as that doesn't happen, the TAC is going to win out. And then this person had the mythic TAC as well, which is great for them. But even if they had a green TAC there, I think they win that fight. Because the Thunder player missed their shot. Probably should have just shockwaved away and reset rather than just having that like awkward timing. Also, this player does have the legendary suppressed AR. Epic fixed the bloom on it. So at the start of this season, the purple and gold versions of the suppressed AR actually had more bloom than blue and under, but that has been fixed since then, so now it's just definitively better to have the higher rarities. At the start of this season, there was potential discussion to be had about that because like +1 damage, but like having a less accurate weapon, I'd rather just have the -1 damage and hit more shots. But now it's been fixed. It's an AI, so they just get the kill for free. What hasn't been fixed, though, is the white, green, and blue versions of the suppressed AR all have the same stats right now. So blue and under is just all equal. There's no difference between them, but maybe that'll be fixed at some point in the future. Who knows? Player chose to go for double mobility instead of the revolver, which can definitely be good. Was there... Oh, Krusty the Clown is there. I would want to kill them. So the exotic revolver is incredibly overpowered, I think. And this player seems to not want to use the revolver because they left that one behind. I was going to say we'll see if that costs them if we get in a very slow fight. But on the also, even if you don't want to use the revolver, denying somebody else getting the exotic one is huge. And I'm not someone who usually cares that much about like hiding loot or things like that. But I would definitely want to go kill Krusty over there and then put that revolver in like a corner or something, or a bush. Or maybe even just camp him and see if anybody else is going to go for it, and then just kind of like gatekeep others from getting the revolver. But they chose to not do that. And again, that's just one of those things where we'll see if it costs them. If they end up losing to the exotic revolver later on, then that's like definitely something they could have denied. Using a lot of mobility on like somebody they don't even have damage on, which is interesting. We saw this go badly earlier. Somebody in the bush to his left. They're in the bush. They fought at Burns Manor. I don't know if he heard the lady in the bush or not, but this could be bad because if this fight takes a while and they take a lot of damage, then that Marge that was in the bush can just third party them. And okay, I was gonna say this should be a death because they missed 2 shots. And that just goes to show rarity isn't everything, as I was talking about earlier with attack. Like the mythic one, sure, you'd rather have the higher rarity, but this player had a blue one and beat the mythic just because the mythic player missed shots and their aim was better. Surprised that Marge isn't getting involved here. That Marge that was outside in a bush could have just gotten very good timing on this Master Chief and gotten a kill for free. So 1v1 as well, so I don't know why they aren't taking advantage of that. Because if it's a 1v1 and the other person just fought, like, you definitely want to third party it. And it can be tough sometimes to know how weak or healthy the opponent is if they just fought. Like, sometimes people get kills for free. But if you hear 2 people trading tack shots in a room, the person who won that fight should not be coming away healthy. Like, it can happen, but, like, you saw there, the Doja Cat hit 1 shot, and then that, like, almost eliminated the Master Chief. He was left with, like, 100 white afterwards. Surprising how this game has played out because it's been quite different from how matches normally are, I would say. Like, almost everybody we spectated just got like full punished for over-aggression. The Marge earlier, the Doja Cat kind of. That's the Marge that was camping in the bush, I think. Or did the Marge die? It was like a witch Marge, I think, that was camping in the bush earlier. But maybe they died to somebody and then that's why they didn't third party it. And this is GG's. And that is basically the Simpsons season in a nutshell, I feel like. This person, I don't know if they were camping that supply drop or the timing just happened that way, but the Master Chief went for a supply drop that they didn't really need. Like, their loot was fine, I felt like. And then, yeah, that cost them the game. But that is going to be it for this video. When it comes down to a 1v1 or pretty much just anything in this season, it feels very, very, very timing based. And so just not letting that enemy get the opportunity to get like free timing on you is kind of everything. But if you enjoyed this, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.